3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash. It is another Storytime live stream. This is part 3 of our Sara series that we're doing. Joining me, who's, I don't know why, but I guess he pities me. Real Dr. Venkman is here, fresh off of our roast of Avengers. Venkman, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, my friend?
You kind of lost that accent, kind of spun out of control at the end.
I do what I want.
Arnold's had a little bit too much Coors Banquet going on, so he may be a little loose tonight. But it's good to have you, buddy. If you missed the Sour Capes, please indulge us. Go watch a replay of it. Not the second, obviously. Hopefully, you watch the stream. But
come on, do it. You do it.
Do it. Do it now.
Come on, do it. Come on. What are you waiting for? Do it. Kill me.
Kill me. Kill me now. That's what I was saying when I was reading that Avengers. Holy shit balls. But you know what? I mean, that book was bad, but it was like bad in a way that was like fun to roast. There's some books that I read. I mean, as bad as that Avengers book was, and this has been the case of Jason Aaron for me always. Like, it's not, he at least tries to be fun. Whatever he's doing, it may be ridiculous and stupid, and I hate reading it, but I mean, some of these books I read, I just can't. Like the Ta-Nehisi Coates and stuff, I'm just like, I really wanted to stab myself in the face. It's so...
Which part?
All the parts.
Well, I meant not your face. I meant like which part of the book.
Oh, that's why I said all the parts of the book.
Like,
there aren't good parts.
It was cringy, but like not bad until you got to like this issue 6, and then it revealed like, oh, guess what? Yeah, we've been controlling your fate the whole entire time, Steve. You're pointless. All right, thanks, guys. It's like, what the hell?
Anyway, we rushed through that. 3 books is tough to do, and it's both of us can be long-winded. I'm long-winded. I think RDV goes off track. Together, it's a challenge, but we pulled it through. We had a time limit. We were trying to stick to 40 minutes. I think we went 45. Not too bad. But go leave some comments. I would love to get some feedback about what worked, what didn't work for you, if you didn't like it. Because we've only done a couple of these, and I thought it went pretty good. What'd you think?
I thought it went swimmingly, and it had no issues.
I felt like it had a lot of energy. That's what I liked about it.
Definitely. I was powered on Coors, man.
Well, sometimes I listen to other YouTubers, and I critique them in my head, and then when I do my own videos, I try to like pull the elements of like, oh, this guy does this thing really good. I'm gonna try to copy that, and this guy over here, he does this other thing really good. I'm gonna try to copy that, and try to to avoid doing the things I don't like. And one of the things I really don't like is the YouTubers that have like no energy. They just give information.
There's one guy who's just like, and then we'll do this. And he does it every it's a sentence. He does that. He's like, welcome all. Good to see you all. And I'm like, this guy does it. He does wrestling reviews, and he does it on purpose. And you should see his chat. And despite being as annoying as he possibly can, he makes views. People still watch it. If anything, I think they hate watch it just to leave like angry comments in the section.
Maybe sometimes sometimes you can have a really good chat, and it's worth going to watch the live stream just for the chats. Hopefully my chat. I mean, I guess I would like to have a good chat too. So Melissa Harris is first, reclaiming her throne. Marania is second, and Ed Brewer is third. He says, I remember when Ash started on time. The good days of pre-700 subs.
Yeah, congrats. You're 704 now.
Yeah. This is the 7th time I tipped 700?
Well, you've been to 703, 2, 3, or 1, and then you went down under, and all of a sudden, now you're back up to 4.
Is this a new record for me?
I think you're actually up to 4 now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So,
I couldn't have done it without all you guys. Um, so maybe someday I'll be fortunate enough to get to 1,000. I mean, it's only 300 more subs. I got 700. I should be able to gain 300.
I think it's because you're reading good books now.
That is true. I started off bitching about books all the time, and then I just got tired of doing that. So maybe that's.
You know what I think it was? I think it was a Spider-Man, Stan Lee. They're like, is this guy gonna read more toxic masculinity books?
Well, the story time has certainly not helped me. I started losing viewers when I started doing the story time stuff. But I don't think it's necessarily because of the story time. It was because I stopped doing the other videos. And, you know, when you change the stuff that people come here for, like, I didn't come here to listen to you read comics. I came here for something else. But I'm trying to do more videos again. It's just tough.
We noticed at a lot of Extreme Movie Show, within 3 months, all of a sudden we started not getting any really much subs. The view counts were kind of down. And the one thing I can think of is the fact that we were not doing martial arts movies. We weren't doing kicking it. So we started getting back in that stuff. And I'm thinking because, well, maybe we'll get the crowd back because majority of our crowd was from the Philippines. And they watched from like 9 in the morning to like noon. So, and apparently they must love martial arts because they disappeared. We skewed more differently then. So, like I said, I told Rob, like,
geez, you think the Pacific Islands like martial arts?
I'm just saying because nobody else was watching apparently.
Like all the big martial arts films seems to come out of the Pacific Islands these days. Ronnie is also here. She says Ash is running on England Teen Standard Time now.
This is Ashland Teen Time now. So
I apologize for being late. For those of you that were watching the previous stream, they butted up against each other, and I knew if we could do 40 minutes, I would have time to cut over. But we didn't finish that third book, and that you probably heard my timer go off and stuff like. Yeah. And I just like I can't artificially close it. I need to finish this. We're so close. So I think we did that last one fine, but it did make this stream start up a little bit late because I have to switch everything over, and it's not as easy as just turning off and turning back on.
That's good though. You're in double digits.
Double digits?
You got 11 people watching right now.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
Let's see.
So maybe it boosted this.
Maybe. Those of you guys who are in the chats, you know, I guess it's customary to always ask to like and subscribe. You know, hit the like button. It does do some good. It doesn't cost you anything. So if you are here and you're enjoying yourself at all, even if it's because of RDV, please hit the like. Help show YouTube that this channel is not a complete waste of time. But also, if you don't, you can also share on social media. You know, my followers list is not huge, but you're probably a different follower list. Anyways, just good to share the word out. Small people like me, you know, we don't have a big audience.
Let them know that Ash does videos.
Let them know. I do have a channel. It is true. It's unlike a Bigfoot. You have actually seen it.
Ash is also a dog person. Put that in hashtag dogs in there. They'll come here looking for dog stuff too.
Ed Brewer is here saying Stephen Wright of YouTube. I forget who Stephen Wright is. Is he a comedian?
I went outside and I fell. Guess that sucked. That's basically Stephen Wright. Dry humor. He's a guy bald, has a curly hair on the side, kind of like one of the Three Stooges. He was in a Half Baked. He was the guy sleeping on the couch.
Oh. I don't remember him, but I remember Half Baked was funny.
Yeah. He was like because he's like, who's the guy pissing in the plant pot over there? Oh, that's whatever so and so name there. Okay, whatever. It is.
Jimmy is here. He says he got a perfect 80% on his psych test. I don't know how. I'm confused.
Does that mean that you're not a psychopath, or it means that you are one? What is a psych test? I mean, what does that have to do with anything?
I'm assuming he's taking a psychology course in college.
Oh, okay.
And he got an 80%.
Do they have home kits for that?
That's perfect. Maybe they grade on the curve. So if the top score was 80%, that would be a perfect. I don't know. Ed says they take off 20% when you show up naked. Eric says Ash is omnipresent. Am I omnipresent? No.
I think that varies by person who shows up naked.
I think Breen is omnipresent. Every time I go to a stream, Breen is there.
Is he still here? We lost a viewer.
He was here. Yeah, I was on a Howler Mouse stream. Well, I wasn't on the stream. I watched Howler Mouse's stream earlier, and there was Eric. Every time I go see a stream, I see Eric. And we waved in the night.
Where like you guys like it's like those old Western movies where the guy looks at the guy side eye glances, you walk by, and he's kind of like later.
Jimmy says he promises that it isn't because of you, RDV.
Well, nothing's because of me. I'm innocent. I'm the guest. You get the nights.
Maybe if it was because of you, he would have got 100%.
Maybe. I didn't pay rent this week.
Jimmy says he's taking psychology 200.
I've only heard of 101, so there's 200.
Or maybe they subtracted 20% for his white privilege to even out.
That could be it.
That's probably. He is in Washington, so they probably, if you're white, you get 20% subtracted in order to have equity for other people.
Yep, they had to go to someone else.
That's what it is. I think we nailed it. Got it.
Or he's reading too many comics.
I don't know. I don't think Jimmy reads as many comics as he used to. I could be wrong, but could be wrong. Probably am right. How you liking this Sara book? Now that I actually have you here, we can talk a little bit about the book I'm going to be reading tonight. I've read 4 issues. How you liking it so far?
Actually, like I said, I love Epting. As far as you mentioned before in previous streams, the way he sets everything up. Garth Ennis is a phenomenal writer. I love him on every Punisher book he does, or even in Constantine, I guess that's how they pronounce it. Hellblazer, it was actually really good. I guess he wrote some of The Boys, and that's probably where I'd say it's probably his weaker stuff.
Some of The Boys? He wrote all The Boys.
Well, I mean, as far as The Boys comic, because I didn't like it as much as I do like the show.
The Boys comic is good.
Maybe it's just because the show ruined it for me, because I watched the show first, then went to go read the comics.
I did the same thing too, though. I was really worried of that when I read The Boys. I was like, eh.
I'm a huge Carl Urban fan, so it's
well, me too. I mean, I love The Boys TV. I mean, I'm there.
So Butcher's different.
He's different. Than he is. Yep, he is different. He feels more like a parody of the Punisher in the comic, whereas in the show, the Butcher's identity is, I don't know, he's just different. He doesn't feel like the Punisher in the show. No. I was very pleasantly surprised, and what I really did like actually was that the comic was so different, so that I didn't feel like I was really comparing the two. I almost felt like they were similar but different experiences.
Yeah. But first glance, so I had no idea what this book was even about, and then we started getting into the second issue and more, and he explained more what's going on. Because I thought, like, wait, did she defect? That's my first thought. Like, is she going against her own crew? But no, she's still with them.
I thought that
threw me off.
I thought that too. A couple parts. I was like, is she actually a double agent? Like,
because it shows they're like up in the trees. I'm like, wait, is that the? And then I realized, oh, it's the Germans. Okay. Because I'm like, did she just kill her own guy? The guy that like gave her papers. Like, hey, you want to hear about your family? Now she's getting revenge on him, just taking him out first. I was like, dang. But like I said, Garth Ennis is not afraid to go out there with the gore and the violence and step back. Things like, well, I could do this. I'm worth Garth Ennis. What are they gonna say? It's like I got a shield. But yeah, Garth Ennis, like, he always takes those characters. Like I said, like, you want a Punisher, you want Ennis, because he actually makes what the Punisher is. He's a murderer. And when he shoots people, he shows what the real life consequences are. When someone gets their arm blown off, you see the meat chunks. In this book, when that guy gets shredded by the last issue, we read issue 3 or issue 4, he got machine gun, and they just basically just turned the guy's arm to Swiss cheese. The German officer.
I'll tell you what, man, reading this book.
Oh, it's like
reading this book. I mean, I'm really liking this book a lot. I'm really excited to see how this ends. I know Garth Ennis is a big Punisher guy, and Eric Breen convinced me to read Welcome Back, Frank, which is I believe
I
his
love it.
favorite Punisher story by Garth Ennis. And I enjoyed it, but it felt like it had a certain stamp. Like I don't know. I'm not a huge Garth Ennis aficionado or anything, so
Mhm.
I have a lot to learn about him. I really am loving The Boys, and what I noticed about The Boys was that it felt a lot like The Punisher. Like it felt like it had this dark humor to it.
Yeah.
It was serious, but it was also like not taking itself too seriously, and that's fine. But that's how I assumed Garth Ennis would be. Like he'd always have this sort of
Hmm.
like quirk in his mouth, like like I'm doing. And is he like that on his Hellblazer stuff? Does his Hellblazer have this sort of dark humor to it?
Hellblaze. Well, Constantine is always, or Constantine, what Constantine, what you want to pronounce it, whether European or American. Um, he's always been a character, it's a snarky character. So when he wrote his stuff, there was some slight humor, but it was mainly just the complete story made it be.
Hmm.
Uh, and then, well, the thing about Vertigo Hellblazer, depending on whoever's drawing it, no matter who it just felt like it was like the art was either like you could see what's going on, or it was really just sort of like you're on acid. There was those early '80s and the '90s ones because the colors they use, color scheme. But as far as Garth Ennis, so as far as writing, you notice in Welcome Back, Frank, there's a Detective Soap in there who's kind of like a patsy kind of character like that. He inserts those characters into a lot of those books. We also got that another character like that in Punisher Soviet Punisher, which was basically the not really a follow up, but it was the next time that he wrote Punisher, and it's another miniseries, just like the Welcome Back, Frank, and you kind of get some of the same, not the same dialogue, but don't get there's a nod to his original one, Welcome Frank. Spoilers for anybody who doesn't want to hear this. Someone loses their arms and their legs. So I think they did it as simple as a nod to his previous story. And I'm noticing this too. He's also, like you said, he's not afraid for gore.
Right,
He's
right.
right. And there's a little bit of comedy in this too, a little bit, not a
Well, I
lot.
guess the words I'm looking for is like satirical. Like
Yeah,
I feel like
satire.
I feel like Punisher, that the Punisher of his that I've read is
And
laced
more,
with satire, and
yeah,
the Boys is complete satire. And like I said, I'm not criticizing that by any means. I just assumed that that's what he did. But what I'm getting to is Sara is the first
that,
thing of his that I've read that doesn't have it's a
yep,
really
yep,
straight drama, and
yes,
I'm not
yeah.
used to that, and I'm really liking it.
I think he's right. Like you said, when he writes his stuff, he usually writes it for trades or miniseries. Like this one, I feel, like you said, I think he's writing it for a Netflix series or Amazon, whoever wants to pick it up.
This
Because
feels like it could be a movie.
yeah,
If this was I would, yeah, this could be a good movie. I talked about this in the last episode about
yep.
Enemy at the Gates. Let's get a couple of chats here. This Quirk says I don't come to this channel for RDV. I come for Ash's curly locks. Well, joke's on you. I have a buzzed
TMI,
head.
TMI.
I buzzed my head, so.
Close your drapes, Ash.
Fortunately, I know he's not because he didn't describe me correctly. But yeah, I buzzed my head. The COVID thing, no haircuts. I got this thing off of Amazon that's like made for shaving your head. So it just done.
Is it called a razor?
No maintenance. No, it's not a razor. It's like clippers. You know, you've seen like the electric clippers.
Is it hooked up to a vacuum?
No, it's not
It
a flow.
sucks.
It's not a Flowbee. if you
This
imagine
really
like
sucks.
if you imagine like clippers, like electric clippers, like a Barbie uses or whatever, it's like 3 times as wide as those, and it's like curved, so like slightly curved, so it like for your skull.
I don't know. I got the Remington ones. That's what I have. I just use that if I ever want. I'd use it. No.
Well, I've used that too. But it's rechargeable, so it's just it fits in the palm. It's like the size of a baseball. So, anyways, not that anyone cares about that, but it makes cutting your hair if you just want to buzz your head super simple. And then I can do the Tim Pool thing where I just wear beanies all the time. Let's see. Giving you guys some insight into the Ash. There's nothing special. Let's see. RDV is innocent. Sorry, if RDV is innocent, I don't make baked goods on a regular basis, says Maranya.
In my defense, I've never seen her baked goods she always talks about. Never seen the photos.
That's a good point, RDV. She's made a lot of claims that I mean,
I want some receipts here.
AOC recently claimed that she was attacked at the Capitol. Turned out that wasn't true. Not that Melania's AOC, so I don't want to.
She tripped over a mop and yelled at the mop.
Quirk says he lost 20% because he hasn't read a single page of the book because there was no homework for 5 weeks, and he thought he forgot about the class, and then he put on an exam.
That's a good excuse.
That sounds great. And fire X-Men and get better X-Men writer. Hickman is the Tom King of X-Men. Well, we know that Melissa does not like Hickman, so that is in her prerogative. Sara book is great, says Melania. Strong women without diminishing the male characters along the way. All the characters have flaws and relatable in some way. Would you agree to that?
I'd say so, maybe.
What I like about them is that they're not woman. Right? Like, woman is the idea of a woman being always amazing and awesome and usually better than men at everything. And they don't really have flaws. Like, they're just women. They're just people. Just like men, they have flaws too. They're capable, but they're not manly, right? You don't see them like going around and hand to hand kicking the shit out of Germans. You know, they do things that you'd expect if women were in that role. Like, oh shit, get the machine gun. Like, I like it. I like that they often have to rely on their brains more than their brawn because women don't really have brawn unless you're Jennifer Walters.
But as far as a man, I like the fact that they have all personalities. Even Ronnie pointed out their faces are different. That's really hard to do too. Because even artists today, or not writers, but artists today, you'll see it and it's like, well, okay, that's Peter Parker with a wig. But like I said, like I wonder how long he had time to basically just draw this. Because he's not being rushed. Because nowadays, look at Spider-Man; it's out every freaking week. You know, the guy's Mark Bagley's
probably.
And a month.
He probably had the same deadline. Well, it's a 6-issue series. I'm gonna guess he had 6 months to do it.
Yeah. But
I
like the fact that they're not like I'm a tough girl, as Engelty by Love, the Shadowban King of My Love comic says. You get to actually the girls, and it's believable. And the reason it's believable because they have guns. If they're doing hand-to-hand combat, it'd be a different story. But then again, there are guys, like you said, who think they're tough, and they're just pushovers.
It matters on how the hand-to-hand is done. What I don't like in action movies and stuff is it'll be like 120-pound woman beats up some 300-pound thug who's not just some pushover. You know, he's like a real thug who gets in street fights all the time. But whatever.
So I'm hoping in issue 6 we get to see her in a plane, falling out of a plane and exploding another plane and getting
Don't even bring that stupid movie up. Melissa wants to know if Jimmy's becoming a therapist. Jimmy says, "Welcome back, Frank is so damn good."
It is good.
Art in the book conveys the fury of the explosions without resorting to the crutch of thraboom. And that's a good point. I agree. It's a little weird because I feel like it's silent. Like I feel like I'm watching a silent movie. Like you see these explosions and the thraboom stuff. I don't necessarily need it, but I guess I'm so used to it that when I was seeing just the stark picture of the explosions, and of course I'm reading out loud, and so I'm not voicing explosions. It came across as like silent.
It feels more real when you I'm reading I'm in the chat and I hear you say kaboom and then I shake with fear. It's like it's really loud.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Ash sounds like Leonard from Big Bang Theory. Oh, great. I hate Big Bang Theory. I don't want to sound like Leonard.
Zinga.
I gotta quit. Biden is Justice Lord Superman. Ash is an AOC that we can believe. Eric is funny when he tries, or maybe he's funny when he doesn't try. Maybe it's the opposite.
I want to know who's writing these jokes for him, so I can hire them.
I don't know.
Is it Jerry? Do I have to talk to Jerry?
Let's see. Eric says, when we get in our next war, I hope our enemies will respect our new diverse army and wait for our women to put on their faces. Oh, did you hear about that? They just did a new executive order or something in the military.
They reversed Trump's decision. So now people who are transitioning can now be in there, and the military has to pay for it.
No. That's true, but that's not what I'm talking about.
What
There's
do they else say
another order that talks about women are now allowed to grow their fingernails long, wear long hair, and wear makeup.
All right.
In the military.
Like I said, survival of the fittest. If you get shot because you're doing your makeup, well.
Yeah, but the problem is if I get shot because you're doing your makeup, this is why women should not be in the military.
It just seems like they're just doing all this stuff to discourage people from actually joining, so they can keep the people they want in there. It's like a way of vetting, you know? Like they're like, well, I'm not going to do this because the person who's smart is not going to join. Like, well, wait, I got to serve with people who are just going to get me killed.
The military.
The whole thing is you're supposed to be a family. You're supposed to be a family and trust each other. How can I trust someone if they're? Hold on, I think I chipped a nail.
Yeah.
I'm not being a misogynist. Sorry, I'm just saying.
No, it's not. If you think that you need to be able to wear makeup and do your nails, you do not belong in the military. The military is not a club. It's not a social club. It's for going to war.
Beverly Hills Club, was it? With the Girl Scouts? That's what it was. Beverly Hills Girl Scouts.
Let's see. Jimmy says, no, this is TKO. And so Sara, all 6 came out at the same time, not over a period of 6 months. Yeah, we know that, but it's still 6 months of comics. So it usually takes an artist about a month to draw a comic book. 1 page a day, typically. Some artists are different, obviously. So when, for example, when Brubaker and Phillips did their recent Reckless book, part of the reason they did the book was because of COVID. They used to release their books in floppies and stuff, but because of the COVID, books weren't coming out and different things. They just decided to just keep working and then release it all at once as one thing. And now they've liked it so much that they're going to continue to do it. But it still took them the same amount of time to draw as many pages. Not, anyways, I think everyone gets that. Tehilip's a squirrel girl versus a real bullet.
But you know who would win though, not the bullet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
In front of every girl is a guy getting shot. Because right? Because behind every real man, there's a girl standing behind him, telling him what to do. Is that what the saying goes? I don't know. I apologize if I'm being offensive to women.
Teelan says that makeup won't save you in a real firefight. No, but it's not. They're turning the military into a non-thing. It's first of all, women don't go into the firefights. That's another bullshit thing anyway. So women get allowed in the military to get the same benefits as men, so they can get their college paid off and all this stuff, but they don't actually have to go and fight. So they get to sit around and do admin jobs and different things like that. And I know some of them do some support things, and there's some pilots, but in general, they're not sitting in the trenches. Biden emasculating our military and making them weak. It's just a social club. It's to show how woke we are. Being woke is more important than securing your borders anyway. I wonder if we go. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Next, Biden will lobotomize people. Oh, geez, Melissa, we need better, happier topics. Let's go to.
Can we talk about My Little Ponies? I'm feeling not safe here.
That is not a better topic. Let us go to the Comixology. See that? I just made a jingle.
Is that an Arnold joke? Are you gonna jingle all the way? Come on, do it! You got the jingle! Do it, come on!
Comixology is a place where I read comics to you guys. Without Comixology, there would be no Storytime Live. And
I just showed them, but I never buy them.
I buy them all the time. What are you talking about?
Not on screen, though.
I like to see what sales are going on. It looks like, oh, Marvel's having an Elektra sale. Look at this. Get all 3 volumes of the Daredevil, Frank Miller Daredevil. Nice.
Ooh, fancy.
Nice. What other stuff is on 126 items? A lot of
They're really pushing it.
I don't read Elektra unless it's Frank Miller Elektra though. Oh, no, Elektra.
There you go. I have all 3 of those Daredevil books.
Get you some Elektra.
I think I paid $30 for each of those trades.
Oh yeah, they're thick. Those are thick trades.
They're nice though. The first one isn't that bad. I think it's the third one is like it's like you can just knock someone out with it. And it's a soft cover book too.
Yeah. Yeah, the first volume I think is only Frank Miller doing art. I don't think he starts writing until the second volume.
Ooh, speaking of Daredevil, are you caught up to Daredevil 26?
Yes, I need to do a video on it. I was
Holy crap.
I was very interested. Like, there's a lot to talk about that book.
I was curious. I was like, I wonder if Ashley's gonna read this and actually enjoy this because I was like, holy crap! That last page. It's like, come on, no more. Can't end it on the last page like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no. There's a lot to talk about that book. Suffice it to say, just a small little spoiler. Zdarsky shows why he's one of the better writers, if not the best writer at Marvel. And Eric Breen, if you're still listening, Zdarsky managed to make Daredevil continuity. Because one of Eric Breen's complaints about Daredevil, if I understood him correctly, was that it was good, but it didn't feel like it was in the Marvel universe. Like it felt like it was the Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes the books, to feel like they're all in the same universe and stuff. And I can respect that absolutely. And Zdarsky was kind of just writing off in his own little corner, and it did have a certain tone and a feel that felt like it didn't cross over. But now with King in Black, it's crossing over, and I was like, how's this gonna work? Really? But Zdarsky's like, I'll show you how I would do it. Fantastic Four sale. Oh, look at this. Brubaker. I already own it though.
I'm forever scarred by Fantastic Four when it pops up, and they think, yeah, Franklin Richards, you doing the voice every time. I can't read anything with Franklin Richards, and it's like, honey. It's like, no. Daddy, wake up.
Oh, Ascender's on sale. Best of Image 2020. Look at that. $3.59. You can get the first Ascender book. That's one of the books I wanted to read on here. And then there's Descender. I like Ascender more than Descender, but they're both good. East of West is all on sale. Look at you.
Look at that.
Get yourself some East of West and follow us on the unnamed indie comic show.
Ooh, Deadly Class.
Yeah, I didn't like this.
I never read it, but I liked the actual sci-fi TV series.
I never saw the show. You might like it more than I did. It's a younger generation. It feels like it's targeting a younger generation.
It is, and as I said, it was a mature show, and it takes place during the 80s, and it's all about assassins. I was like, dude, this is actually really good.
Yeah, it's Harry Potter meets assassins.
I don't like Harry Potter, and I like this book or the show. So I said I got to start reading the books.
The books, it's Harry Potter meets assassin. Instead of going to a wizarding school, they go to assassin school.
Like I said, the show was like the kid he was homeless, and then he gets mistaken for doing something he didn't do, and he rolled in that class, and then his life starts improving because he's pretty much.
I want to see the show because I feel like the show might have changed some of the things I didn't like.
Well,
I'm not saying this is a bad book at all. A lot of people love Deadly Class, so don't take this as to be like, oh, this book is shit. Just because I didn't like it, you may love it. It just didn't ring well to me. The subject matter and stuff, I was like, eh.
Ooh, Burn from Eric Brain. If Chip Zdarsky was a good writer, Fantasy Four: A Life Story would have been written by him, not a real writer like Mark Russell.
Was there a Fantastic Four life story?
I know it was a Spider-Man. I didn't know it was a Fantasy Four.
Oh,
I think if he's pulling our leg.
I don't know. Is he trolling? Is he trolling? Better not be trolling me, Brain.
It's hard to tell. He's got an infinite knowledge of comic books.
I know.
He's like Brainiac when it comes comic lore and all that stuff.
He's a brainiac on the comic floor. You hope you never hear that again, huh?
I got it recorded. It's gonna be my phone jingle.
Oh, that's right. I need to get that Englentine clip. Did you get that Englentine clip for me?
No, I have to go back and is it from this last stream? Which stream was it?
He does so many damn streams. I'm gonna lose it.
I know.
Englentine on a stream just like flat out said, he's like, Ash, you're right. Like he just said it like clear as day. I was like, I gotta record this. I was like, have a soundbite.
That one. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder from the auction, right? Stream? You guys were arguing?
I think it was an auction. Damn it, I don't remember.
I think it was last Saturday.
I'm gonna lose it. Okay. So there's some good image books.
Eric Priest was just announced that Mark Russell is writing it.
Gay.
That's because he's out. He's off of Vampirella now.
Gay. Really? So really? Do we need a Mark Russell anything?
Would you have Mark Waid?
Over Mark Russell? Yeah. Mark Russell's... Dude, he wrote Wonder Twins with a freaking orgy.
I did not read that, but thanks for sharing. I saw Wonder Twins, and
issue 1 of the Wonder Twins has an orgy with bestiality in it.
Dude, I saw Wonder Twins, and I got horrible nightmares. It's going back to the actual T Super Friends show. Oh, sorry.
At least the Super Friends was like aimed at 7-year-olds, like I was when I watched it.
But,
you know.
Now, but now you say there's an orgy, and I'm thinking, where's the monkey in all this?
Yeah, the monkey's not in the comic.
He's not an orgy.
He's not in the comic.
He's just sitting there drinking alcohol. What's going on?
It's literally trying to take the Wonder Twins and write them for DC continuity, which they never belonged in. The reason the Wonder Twins were ever created was to have some relatability for the cartoon audience. And they made a boy and a girl because that way if boys watched it, they'd have a boy to relate to, and if girls watched it, they have a girl to relate to. And they were just a perspective character, you know, like a teenage sidekick.
Well, if you're gonna write a Wonder Twins book, you gotta write it from the perspective of the actual monkey, and just have him freaking out because everything's going on.
Wonder Twins life story.
It's like Dora Explorer, but it's from the point of view.
Maybe we need Tom King to write a Wonder Twins, like an adult Wonder Twins story, where
then they'll have the marriage issue in number 50.
Where the boy has a midlife crisis.
You know what? I think I'm gay. Yeah, I saw that coming. Let's go join the CW.
Oh God.
Even
Jimmy says my boy writing some damn good FF. Your boy is Slot. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, Slot was it? Oh, Mark Waid, I think was right.
I don't know.
He started off in 2018, I think.
Jimmy likes all the most questionable writers. It's just weird to me.
There's books that I like too. They don't like either, so I can't fault Jimmy for liking what he likes.
That's true. He says I need a Mark Russell Fantastic Four. You need the Mark Russell Fantastic Four like you need a freaking tumor in your brain.
I need a. Actually, no, we should get Donny Cates on Fantastic Four. Let's give him all the books.
I would be interested in a Donny Cates Fantastic Four. I'll read anything that Marvel he does at Marvel. Actually,
I like
his cosmic stuff because he gets He's really good at like the big scope ideas, like universe affecting things. I'm not sure how great he would be at like street level stories. Um,
Well, I said I've only read Mark Russell some of the issues that he did for Vampirella, and it was just complete trash. I did not like. Or no,
I've never read anything from Mark Russell that
or,
wasn't
no, wait, I think he's doing
complete
Red Sonja.
trash.
That's what he's doing, Red Sonja.
Mark Russell wrote that infamous what's it called? The Harley Quinn comic where he wrote Comicsgate into the comics.
Yeah.
Like
my bad. It was a Vampirella, dude. It was Red Sonja, and that's ending like after the next issue. And the guy Lieberman's going back on. I think his name is. The guy who was reading before it back in the 2000s, 2003. He's going back on there. So we'll actually get a decent Red Sonja book again, because that book hasn't been good since Amy Chu. So, like I said, as far as Mark Russell, I only know him from Red Sonja. That's what it was.
Well, you can go back and read his entire Harley Quinn run. It's astounding.
Well, which one is that, though? Which Harley Quinn? Because I remember Paul Amati and his wife, Matt Connor, doing it for, like, ever.
No, Mark Russell did the recent one. And it's so garbage. No, the Rebirth.
Oh, he did Mark.
The one that got canceled.
Oh,
and he did Dial. No, did he do Dial H for Hero? No, it was Sam Humphries. I think Sam Humphries is Mark Russell's alter ego.
I'll probably read the first issue just to see. You know, maybe one or two. Like I always do that with every book, no matter who the artist is, because a lot of artists or writers I don't know. I never really read much about them. I give them a benefit.
Which one are you talking about?
Mark Russell's Fantastic Four.
Oh, fucking! I will wait until people are like, "No, Ash, it's really actually really good," and then I might go, I'll think about it. But until then, it's trash. Like there's far too much evidence that he can't write.
If Breen likes it, then there's a chance you might like it too. Because, like I said, I was surprised that Breen was actually reading some of the Nick Spencer book. Because I haven't read Spider-Man off and on.
But Breen won't read it.
Mark Russell only wrote that one Harley Quinn issue, nothing else.
For some reason, Breen read the Mags Fasaggio Ginny Hex book. I still don't understand why.
I thought it was good. I liked it.
I know. I'm just saying, but Breen didn't know that until he bought it and read it.
I don't know. Breen, did you read that after reading Nick Spencer Spider-Man? Or did you just were you on a high going to like, you know what, I'll try this out too? Maybe are we going to take some pain pills?
Maybe he was like having some sort of reaction. Let's see. Speaking of streams, I'm streaming with Dante D on Geekery with Dante D Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Join us, says Eric.
That's why I can't join the Puppeteen live stream. That's what it is.
So Eric won't stream with me, but he will plug his other streams on my streams.
Well, check out I Love Puppets later on next on Friday night. We're going to be doing. Hopefully, Ashley, you're going to join us.
What time are you going to stream in? Why don't you go ahead and plug it since you're...
I want to say probably later on at around 9. It's gonna be at night. It's gonna be 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe, or a little bit before that. We're gonna actually do 2 streams. We're gonna do The Walking Dead, 13 through 24 issues. So if you haven't read those, here's a chance to go read them tonight. I mean, they've been out for like what? How many years? 10 years almost. And then we're gonna do Batman Year One. Frank Miller talking about that, and Ash, I hope you join us for that. So, if you're not subscribed to I Love Puppets, go do it now. Come on, honestly, you get a puppet on the screen, and he's talking to you. If you don't like puppets on a YouTube stream, I don't know what's wrong with you, because puppets are awesome. I don't know, but definitely check us out. Check out Ash's stream tonight if you're not here. If you're watching the replay, check us out if you can. Sorry, I'm losing it here. You're trying to shill too much.
Just keep shilling away, Englentine. No, that was a bad.
Check out.
I can only make fun of Englentine because I know he doesn't watch my channel.
Check out. Who else did I shill out? Check out. Yelling at Park Cars with the Comics Division. He does that I think twice a week. I think Mondays.
Why are you shelling out channels that?
You said keep
it's
shilling
okay
away.
For you to shill out you doing it. Eric, don't be shilling out as random. And go watch. Let's see, who else can we plug? Comic Boom. Why don't you plug his? Why don't you plug Comic Tropes? Let's plug England Teens channel while we're here. There's an auction on Saturday night.
Ash, now you just did it for me.
You jerk. Let's see. I gotta scroll down and get to. Eric said he read Jenny Hex after several good reviews, and he wouldn't have read it without him.
And also check out Educating Jimmy whenever that comes back.
Jimmy corrects me and says, "Lol, Breen won't stream with Ash. Doesn't he do Criminal Cast?" We've done 2 Criminal Casts, and I did have to use the star power of Vankman, Skipintosh, and Nalo to drag him there. Let's see.
You talk Brubaker, Breen's like, "Can I join?"
That is true. It also is Brubaker. If I could talk Brubaker all the time.
Comics Division is on right now. Says Breen, let's all switch over.
Let's see. Comics Division is on now. RDV says, so let's all switch over. Oh.
Hey, don't pull up Bankman here. I already read it.
What a jerk. Speaking of now, it's probably time to get and read a book. So we should probably do that.
Now reading the voice of Arnold.
Or I should probably do that. I'm gonna get on to doing that. You can hang out if you wish, RDV.
I'll chill in the back.
You can chill with us, and then we'll have a little chit chat in between chapters.
I'll go see what comics is doing.
Oh, you asshole! All right, where's the book? There it is. Here we go. Chapter 5 of Sara. Wait. Watch for anything that tells the tale. Sunlight on grass, freshly turned snow, branches cut to clear a field of fire. For anywhere he might be hidden. In a tree, inside a tree, beneath a mound of corpses. One of our boys hid inside a knocked-out tank. 5 long days with the frozen crew eating their rations, thawing their water bottles in his tunic. The Fritzies got him when they saw his breath emerging from the turret hatch. So watch for that. And never forget, you're not alone out there. Most of all, watch out for things that might be bait. 5. Recognition and reward. Been over a week now. You're going to have to do better. Someone's doing unto us what you do unto them. That makes it your area of expertise, which means all eyes are on you. We do know a little more. They picked up a couple of mouths last night. Apparently the fascists have been waiting for this for a while. This new man is supposed to be the answer to a prayer. They've been getting more and more pissed off about your activities, which is why they've asked for expert help. He's very, very good, according to the Fritzy rumor mill. Have they seen him? The prisoners. Did they get a look at whoever it is? Can they tell us anything about him? No. They don't even have a name, but everyone knows the difference he's made since he got here. Enemy morale is higher and getting higher. Intelligence are doing a rush job on him, although it seems no one's bothered keeping tabs on snipers up until now. Comrade Major, our people operate on every front. Why is this man here all of a sudden? I'm glad you asked me that. Word's gone around about a women sniper with 300 kills. They tell stories about her. No one's quite sure whether to believe them. The fascists had to get used to a lot of since they invaded us. But girls killing boys must be a little too much. They call her Die Rote Hundin. Sorry, I cannot speak German. The red bitch. So, he's trying to draw us out? Yes. Just keep on killing until one of us goes out and faces him. No. We've lost enough of our own already without anyone fighting some bloody, silly duel. This is the 20th century, not the Yankee Wild West. I don't care who gets him, whether it's the tankers or the flyboys, or he cuts his own throat shaving, or he falls into some oh-so-clever trap you've set. Just kill him. After that, the propaganda clowns can do whatever they like. The fucker's done enough. Get to it. Comrades? Get him for Commissar Kovalenko, for your comrade murdered in front of your eyes. Get the Nazi pig! Since Kovalenko, he's killed another commissar, a smaller fish, but all the same, and half a dozen other officers. He left his casings in the snow, made no attempt to cover up the places he was shooting from. The ranges were impressive. One was maximum. Look at me, he sang. Come and find me. Yesterday, he got down to business, wiped out a dozen-strong patrol. He also nailed their cover, Redko and Batrujan. Hence last night's little pep talk from the major. Solid men, not much imagination. Probably opened up on the first thing they thought they saw. Redko was doing the shooting. Baturin died in his arm tangled in his rifle sling, which made it look like he was certain of his target. Don't think of taking cover. Just mark your comrade's killer. Snatch your weapon and the end. You can't afford to be impatient. Wait, wait, wait. I cover Mari and Nata, further south along the valley. They cover Vera and Daria at the other end. From the rear, Rena and Lidi cover me. Word is, they're launching an offensive soon. This is just nonsense they want tidied up beforehand. So who's Die Rote Hunden then? Sara. 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 Yes, I think it's Sara. You don't want to get caught speaking that fascist swill talk. You'll be spirited away by the fairies. 300 kills, scary stories doing the rounds. No one's as good as you are, Sara. That's just the way it is. Is it? If you added all our scores together, you still wouldn't get that many. No one's that good. Not me or any single other sniper. It's all of us. Sarah's quite right. Think about it. Some Fritzy patrol gets hit and their survivors glimpse a woman in a long distance. Then again, a couple more times. Word spreads. 2 seconds through binoculars and a bad light, snow smock, rifle, and you're telling me they can see it's the same shooter? There's us. There's all the girls in the other sectors. If you say so, Rena. Yes, I mean, they obviously believe it, enough to spring in this Superman. But that doesn't mean we have to buy into girls. I'm sorry to interrupt. Not at all, Risa. Come in. Coffee? No, thank you. I wanted to apologize for my outburst at the briefing. I don't mean to tell you your business. Oh, we know how all... Excuse me. Oh, we all know how devoted you are to your comrade Kovalenko. And I wanted to have a word with Sara. Do you need me to come with you? Oh, no. No. It's nothing like that. It's just... It's something I've been thinking about. Haven't been able to get it out of my head. Actually, I'm hoping you can help me with it, There. Do you remember when Comrade Kovalenko was addressing us? Before... You know. Yes? Well, it looked to me as if you were going to say something, Sara. Do you remember? Can you tell me what it was you would have said? I want you to know that you can tell me anything. You don't have to. I think I was just going to agree with him. He talked about freeing the motherland and what we're all fighting for. And I suppose I was thinking, yes, he's right. That's it. I haven't really thought about it since. What would happen next? Well, I knew it would be something like that. Thank you, girls. Good hunting tomorrow. You sure you won't? No. I can't believe she noticed that. They're trained to notice everything. She's got a good heart. She's just anxious to do her job right, that's all. And she's in over her head. I mean, she's never seen anything like what happened to her commissar. A wounded animal. In other words, clawing at everything in sight. Hey, Sara. What we're fighting for? Good stuff. What we're fighting for? To go home. To fight some more. A better world, or just a chance of one? The question I can't answer, so now I take it out on Rena. Hopeful. We didn't shoot at their patrol, so they're lobbing in some heavy stuff at random. See what they can flush out. Last resort. A little bit half-hearted. Sign that they're giving up for the day. Try again somewhere else tomorrow. Concentrated fire now. Why? You're the one calling it in, okay? But what can you possibly see at that height? Oh, Mari. Oh, Nata. They saw you. They saw something. Too scared to even point. So they carried on like nothing had happened. So we saw nothing amiss. And they left our kill zone and reported in. And someone called our friend upstairs. And he talked to the guns. Ah! Without your cover, even from that height, you're standing out as clear as day. What did you show them? Rena, Rena thought you two were ready. You've been going out on your own for weeks, and yet you showed them something. A shadow, a reflection, something. And that would be why the guns have stopped. The Fritzies aren't interested in duels either. They set a trap for snipers, just like we did. And when the guns start again, it makes a perfect sense. A barrage to block the sights of anyone shooting from the south. Intelligent guesswork takes Vera and Dara out from the fight. I'm exposing myself by shooting if the Fritzie snipers here today. I have no choice. Rena and Lydia are behind me, out of range. But from this far back, I can manage either speed or accuracy, not both. I can't hear the words, but I know them all the same. For the motherland! Brutal. After that, I don't care how exposed I am. But it looks like 2 of us were enough for the day. What the hell's going on down there? I can't see a goddamn thing. Vera, I can see the sniper. Location? 10 o'clock, 500 meters, immediate left of the dead tree. Rena, you said we were meant to hold our positions. I know. Quickly, Liddy. But I know. I have a feeling something's happened. Quickly. Vera's anger never made her stupid. She hit the ground and stayed there, waited till our own barrage began. Organized by Rena, who ran the 6 kilometers to the battalion, we should have had radios for this. Presumably, they couldn't spare them. I did talk to her, you know. Mari. About her losing control of herself. She said it was the thought of the Fritzies getting closer, then closer and closer until they got her and they had their hands all over her. She begged me to forgive her. Swore it'd never happen again. We couldn't reach the bodies. It was just too hot out there. We'll go out when it's dark. Take care of it then. Why? So you can booby trap them with a couple of grenades? He's a dead man. I'm going to take off his head with a shovel. I'm going to slice his balls off and stick them up his arse. I'm going to kill the fucker. Guaranteed. But you aren't, Vera. He's too good for you. I know it now. He'll kill you and Liddy and Rena too. Unless I kill him first. Wow. I thought this shot was Sara, but I guess it's not now that I look at it. Sara didn't have a ponytail. So I mistook that for a second. I was like, huh? But, all right. Hopefully you guys understood it clearer than I did when I read it through. Eric says, you read books? No, I read comics, Eric. What do you think, RDV? Since you're still hanging here.
I knew this was coming because nobody ever makes it all alive with Garth Ennis books, or any books like this. War, you're gonna get attached to people, and people are gonna die. Not Hickman, no. What's his name? He just wrote The Walking Dead. Kirkman.
Mm-hmm.
There are characters in that book. You're like, oh man, I love these characters. Even this has only been a couple of issues, and I'm like, man, I love these characters. Love different personalities. And you start killing them off, and obviously, like I say, well, the weak die. It's Soviet Russia. The weak die. The strong may live. It's like I said. I was like, and when the girls died, they use the grenades. They're like, "Fuck this! We're not going out like pansies. We're taking you boys with us." Like they're ballsy to the end. I love it too. But yeah, I mean, we're thinning out the herd here. We're getting closer to the last couple of issues. I guess the last issue is actually we're on the last issue, aren't we?
We're on the last issue. Yep.
Yeah.
Doug
actually,
Johnson is joined us. Howdy, Doug. Good to see you. He says, "FF Life Story by Russell. Just what no one asked for." Right? It's kind of like Fantastic Four by Dan Slott. No one asked for that. Marvel's got a history of weird decisions. Let's see. Melissa says, my stream keeps going out. I just checked it. It's showing an excellent connection at the moment.
Yeah.
Might have had some hiccups. I do apologize.
I was watching my phone. Also, my phone's like, YouTube's like, we're gonna go back to the home screen. And just totally close out my app on me. I was like, okay, I guess side phone. Yeah. So other than that, I had no issues. I heard you fine. I actually had to go leave the Discord talk. So because you're like reading ahead, what's showing on the screen, there's a delay. So I'm like, I can't read this or watch this while you're reading to me because it's like you're reading ahead, a page ahead.
Oh yeah. Because I'm not sharing. Yeah. Because. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Other than that, though, yeah. I said, and then I've been doing this since issue 1. Who would you cast for the main girl, Sara? Because she's got a distinct look to it. I'm thinking, I was almost thinking that girl from Teen Wolf, Crystal Reed, the one that played the Argent girl, the one with the bow and arrow. But she's also was in Gotham. She played Carmine Falcon's daughter. But
I don't know. I don't know who I'd cast as her. I'm not real. I mean, it'd have to be some like early 20s woman.
Obviously, yes. Yeah, yes.
Like
a nobody, someone off the street. Yeah. Hey, you want to be in a movie?
I think I would probably cast I probably would cast like late 20s.
Because obviously the other choice would be like, okay, what's the girl? The one that was just in that Red Sparrow movie.
Well, we cast Daisy Ridley. Just kidding.
I actually said that a couple of issues ago.
I know. I'm just kidding. I don't know who I cast.
What's the girl that was in the movie with Chris Pratt? The one where they're stuck on the spaceship. They're stuck alive. They're stuck away together. She was also in X-Men. She played Mystique.
Oh.
I forgot what her name is. Dang it.
Isn't that the one girl that played Katniss?
Yes, I think so.
No, I don't like her. I could see casting her as like Sarah's friend, the blonde girl. Yeah. I could see casting her as that girl. Because she's always got that sour face, you know? I forget that actress's name from Hunger Games, but she just always has that bitch face. She's got resting bitch face.
Well, we can always get Brie Olsen. She's Jennifer Lawrence. Yes, thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, that's her name. Yeah, she has that problem, resting bitch face. And I don't say that like totally. I have that problem too. So I know what it's like to suffer from that.
There's also the actress who's going to play Yelena in the Black Widow movie. She played a brunette. She did the movie for Fighting with My Family. The what's her name movie based off Paige, the wrestler. She's had her hair black before. She could probably pull it off. Man, I mean, like I said, it's hard though because when I look at these movies now, I'm still comparing to like actresses that probably like haven't been doing anything for the past 10 years, or they're in their 30s now. It's like you're trying to find someone who is like fresh, 19. And the sad thing is, a lot of them are just coming out of Disney, so it's like, I don't know. It's obviously they'd probably find somebody you've never heard of who's probably been a small independent movie or something like that. And like, okay, here's your retro role.
Did you ever see the movie Knives Out?
I've heard of it.
Ryan Johnson's newest movie. It's a really good movie.
Is there a sequel?
No. It's Knives Out. It's like a whodunit type movie, like Clue.
Yeah. It's got Chris Evans, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
There's that Kathleen Lake. Are you thinking
the
actress?
I forget the name of the actress that plays the main girl in that movie.
There's Anna Dumas.
Is that her name? She plays the nurse.
Oh, I'm not sure. Because I'm looking at the girls. There's Catherine Langford, and there's Anna Dumas, she played Joy on Blade Runner.
Wait, on who?
You want
Blade Runner? Yeah, the girl that played Joy in Blade Runner.
Yeah, Anna Diamas.
Yeah. That could be someone you could cast.
Yeah, as I said, like there's so many actresses that are popping up that I'm thinking like, who would actually look Russian? And actually believably look Russian.
I think that Anna girl could pull off a Russian.
If she does a Russian accent, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
I mean, Rachel Weisz played a Russian.
Yeah,
she's a German. All you got to do is have a European look. Russia has a lot of different. There's not like a straight Russian look because Russia's so big and there's so many different.
Yeah.
Racial. I think she could pull. I would be fine. I'm not one of these people that's like, you got to cast the exact ethnic heritage background. Like whatever.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
But yeah, she's a good actress, and she's pleasing to the eyes at the same time. This is a rare quality. But yeah, Knives Out's really good, and I don't even like those kind of movies. I don't normally like the whole like whodunit in the mansion type thing. But it's a really good. It's one of the best written movies I've watched in a long time. And she does a phenomenal job.
We'd get stuck with Ariana Grande playing her.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that would be. Let's see. Not those big words got ash tripping. You said, yeah. Sometimes it's tough. It's tough reading a comic cold, especially like you're just doing panel by panel, like the zoomed in mode. Don't know who's talking. Don't know what the tone is, the inflections on the words. Sometimes I'll read like a word balloon, and then after I'm done, I realize, oh, they were saying it like this, but it's too late. I already read it. It's like, so.
Alicia Vikander.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one that does Tomb Raider, Swedish
actress.
Yeah,
that could be.
She's got the right look and all that stuff, and she's proved that she can act.
Who was the girl that played in Rogue One?
I don't know. I didn't watch Rogue One.
You didn't watch Rogue One?
I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. Sorry.
You don't got to be a huge Star Wars fan.
I was kind of done. Like, I watched Force Awakens and I was like, hey, then here comes this. Felicity Jones?
Yeah. She could probably pull off. I don't know how old she's looking now, but Vikander, yeah, I could totally see. Mia Jovovich is way too old, Jimmy. Come on. It's Mia Jovovich. Although Mia Jovovich would be good to play like Vera. Oh, I could see casting Mia Jovovich as Vera.
Yep.
Fucking like she's the one that goes to torture all the guys and stuff. That would be funny. That'd be a good cameo. Let's see. Comic says I'm heading out. I'm gonna try to finish season 3 of Game of Thrones. You're heading out. We got the 6th issue of Sara. How can you leave on the last issue? That's weird. And Ed Brewer says Knives Out was just all right. Come on, Ed. Come on. Knives Out was amazing. One of the best written is it's man, it's got twists upon twists and
Uh,
turns, and
yeah.
you just will not see where it goes. And when you think
The
you
only
see it go, go ahead.
we'll continue. I
I
was
was gonna
just
say
gonna say the only. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say where you think you see where it's going, you're like, and it doesn't go there, and then you think, okay, now I know where it's in this. Yeah.
And I was gonna say for Jimmy, you only get a pass if you're going to watch The Expanse.
No, Game of Thrones is fucking amazing. Like, that's my favorite TV show of all time. I can
Like
understand wanting to go see it, but I mean, it's not going anywhere. You got Sarah, the 6th issue here.
I'm watching The Expanse, and it makes me want to go back and watch First Game. Love both those series.
You should watch Battlestar Galactica.
The original?
The remake that was on Sci-Fi Channel.
Ooh, here's another actress, the girl that plays Veronica on Riverdale. What's her name? It's Camilla or something like that.
I don't know. I don't watch that show.
Really? First season was okay.
Dude,
I watched. I watched
I'm a middle-aged dude. I'm not watching Riverdale. It's a generation behind me.
No one knows if you're watching it unless you tell them.
No, I'm not doing it because I'm embarrassed to watch it. It's not.
Well, you just said I'm a middle age, so obviously there must be some embarrassment.
It's the same reason you're not going to watch stuff that Zoomers. Well, maybe you do watch stuff that Zoomers watch. I don't know. It just doesn't hold any interest to me. It's right. Written for your generation.
Which was yours? Breaking Bad?
I don't know. I don't know if that was really written for my generation. I guess kind of. I'm Generation X.
It's all you Gen Xers that wasted your life and now it's our chemistry teachers.
Yeah. Man. Melissa's going to bed. Everyone's leaving on that final issue. Well, you guys are missing out. But fortunately, YouTube saves everything. You can come back and finish it, or you can go buy the series yourself and finish it. But before people get too tired and worn out, I'm going to go ahead and start the issue now.
Alrighty.
"2 hours before the dawn, I rise and listen to them breathing. Liddy, curled up like a child, Vera, with her monster smile, and Rena. I bid them sleep. Huh? 6. Against a ghost. But I want to be certain you're all right. We're fine, Risa. We have to make our plans now, okay? But after the losses you took, the girls, we'll mourn them in our own way. We'll cope. Thanks." So where did we go wrong today? How did they know we were there? They didn't. They've probably been trying all that week in other locations, just like us. We would have run into each other eventually. Give me a second here. If you're sulking about what I said earlier, I'm sorry. But that's not what I need from you, right? I'm not. Just thinking about the next move. Vera's right, Liddy. They would have had everything ready to go. We were hunting a sniper, so we brought 7 snipers. They had a patrol to spot us, an aircraft to direct artillery, and 2 squads waiting to spring the trap, not to mention our friend. They won, just like they're winning the war. There are less of them, but they focus what they've got on the job at hand. Meanwhile, we force boys and girls to be brave at gunpoint. I mean, maybe, eventually, we can drown the Fritzies in our own blood. Right. Right. So what is our next move? Because that's what you said you were thinking about. And that would be a lot more helpful than your latest insightful critique. And how helpful is it to ignore reality exactly? I'm not. No. Liddy's sitting there trying to come to terms with the idea that she might not make it home after all, and she has absolutely no idea where to begin. Ah, don't pick on her. You can kill. You can come close to getting killed, but it's not until you lose someone that you see it's not a game. Haven't you taught her that yet, Comrade Sergeant? What the hell has that got to do with anything? We're supposed to kill a master marksman, but you won't admit that we're really up against. You definitely won't admit to the evil, corrupt, incompetent shit we've got behind us. You want me to tell you how to win, but you still get squeamish about my little trick with the grenades? And now Mari and Nata and Daria? Slap. Back on our side of the lines, I ask around about patrols. At first, nothing seems to be amiss. Then, eventually, someone realizes someone else is overdue. I have a pretty good idea what's happened to them. I must move quickly now. Jesus. He'll catch on any second. There it is. After that, there's a lot of blubbering and pleading, including what sounds like a reference to the Geneva Convention, which is just too bad. When acceptance comes, it's almost pitiful. He knows it can't be loaded, but I doubt he has the balls to work the bolt. I saw Panzer Grenadiers this morning, Tiger Crews, each man as hard as bayonet steel. A man would try to jump me or run and yell a warning to his comrades. What I wanted was a rabbit, cringing in the shadow of a wolf. Are you all right? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That was uncivilized of me. I once watched you shoot a man while he was pissing against a tree. That was uncivilized. True. I'm the one who should apologize. I'm angry at all the things that caused their deaths, but that's not you. Oh, Sara, I know what we do is extreme, but sometimes I look at the things you do, and I fear for you. I pity you for what's been killed in you. You do? I didn't ask for this. When the invasion came, I joined the army like everybody else. I didn't know I'd be such a good shot. The instructor said I had a kind of stillness, which was news to me. He said he knew just where to send me. I'd no idea it would lead to this. Saying, that's a Nazi, not a man, before you pull the trigger. Remember when they took me out of line last summer? Yes, of course. There were a few of us. They took us across the Lake Ladoga with the evacuees. We flew the rest of the way. The leader was shorter than I expected. I don't even remember what he said to me afterwards. They bundled him out, kept him moving. We were put up in a hotel for the night. We were heroes. We could have anything we wanted. But I don't like being around men when they're drunk, so I slipped away, got lost. Someone else had retired for a private party. I recognized the voice. An NKVD captain who had been standing behind me at the ceremony. Him and two of his friends. Do you want to open another bottle? You open it. So that was her then? Who? Our Lady of 100 for confirmed kills. Yes, if you believe that. From what I hear, it's actually a conservative estimate, but she's the one. What are you two talking about? Oh, what's her name? It could have been very embarrassing. Really. She's lucky to be here at all. It was a misunderstanding. It all got sorted out. What's this? She's from one of those little shitholes out west, where we did the paratrooper thing. But as someone pointed out, she was in action on the Leningrad front when it happened, so she couldn't have been involved in anything. Not that anyone was really, if you see what I mean. Hang on, sorry, I'm lost here. Oh well, the official line was that a Fritzy airborne unit did the place, okay? But it was just us wearing the uniforms. They see us coming, they run inside. We go around hammering on the doors and yelling food and water and quick about it, Ivan, you see? So, test of loyalty. Eventually they open the doors, which makes them traitors to the motherland. But, I mean, enemy troops with guns, why wouldn't they? They're supposed to resist. Yes, but what? This is a good moment, pausing here. The shot here, the tears welling up in her eyes as she realizes that her village, if I'm interpreting this right, wasn't the Germans at all that killed them. Fuck. Nothing, he says. Nothing at all. And the third one says, really just trying to move on as fast as he can. So she's here to be decorated for her thing, and he's here for liquidating her, you know. So you can see how it might have been tricky. And the man himself says, hey, is the door open? And I run away like a child. I had sense enough to leave it at that. Didn't say, what was I supposed to do? Start shooting at the apparatus of the state? At policy? Or in any given situation, just assume that all concerned were doing the worst possible thing? That way you won't be disappointed? Or, I can't tell you this in front of Risa, or your friend with a good heart, and so on. That much truth all at once is quite enough. I know. "600 meters out from the massacred patrol, I find a set of footprints, which I imagine I'm supposed to follow. Our friend likes to keep his distance. I imagine that'll work for me. He'd have known there was more than one of us, even before the 3 girls yesterday. But the more scalps he can bring home, the better it'll be for Fritzy morale. Which we know was teetering a bit. So he'll credit me with some intelligence. Enough not to cross this in daylight. But I'm ruled by my emotions in a way men aren't. Passionate, angry, prone to losing control. He's got my comrade's blood on his hands. If he's pushed me far enough, I might give in to temptation. I'd hate to disappoint him. I'm gambling that at maximum range he won't see his target's not a woman. I'm gambling he won't make out the terror. Then I see the flash. Ah! And I don't wait. I don't breathe. And that one simple snapshot is the best I've ever made. Then, out of nowhere, comes the thought of what I'd done. Two of them. One to shoot and one to wait. I feel my heart pump my life out through the bullet hole. So slowly. Death has all the time in the world. And in some strange way of death, I am granted visions of things I cannot know or do not even understand, of long, long lives, of cities, nations, all the earth awhirl around the three of them, children and grandchildren, joys and sorrows, the fruits of sacrifice. And then I see it, clear as day. None of this is guaranteed. He can still kill them. Cancel everything to come with just 3 bullets. He'll kick my body over, satisfy his curiosity, see what's in the tree and grunt with mild amusement. My variation on his theme, a story for the boys in years to come, with this benighted country far behind him. He'll go back to work. On Liddy, Vera, Rena, unless I do what I set out to do. Nah. I feel no pain, no fear. And now, at last, no anger. Thank you, is what I whisper. Sleep, little one. Sleep, you monster. Sleep, my darling friend. Oh. That was didn't go as I expected, but it feels kind of fitting. You can't tell a Russian war story without it being a tragedy. I think that's just the way. Like American war stories are all about victory, and Russians are all about the sacrifice.
I honestly really liked it, and I actually found out who would actually cast for it.
Who?
Mary Mauser, the one that plays Sam on Cobra Kai.
Oh, I haven't seen that far yet.
She plays Danny Lewis's daughter in the first season.
Oh, I don't remember her yet. I have to watch it again. I'm not able to get a picture.
I'm just saying because she has the build. She's fine, and she actually is a decent actress. But
Melissa,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say Melissa went to bed. I think they got some covers here. I just was going through some like the alternate covers. This is pretty good. I really love the art in this book. It's just some of the shots are just breathtaking, but also like emotional.
Yep.
This is a really good book. It's really good.
I knew it was a 50-50 shot. She was going to live or she's going to die at the end. Because I'm thinking, like, she's very, very good. She hasn't met her match yet. I'm thinking, like, is she going to get shot and just, hey, happy ending? No, he's like, screw this.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It is like the war movies, sometimes the hero dies in order to win the battle. Marani says that ending reminds you of one of the war movies where a nurse puts a grenade in her blouse to take out some of the enemy soldiers who end up capturing her.
Yeah, I mean the book set that up like really well, right? Like they had multiple times where Sara would put the grenades underneath the bodies. And so you kind of saw it happening, and it was like a really good way. Like when she's lying down, she's like fading away and she sees like the life flashing before her eyes, and then she like realizes, wait a second, because she's seeing the lives of her friends and like seeing them old and and going, okay, I'm dying, but like they're gonna get to go on. And then she has that moment epiphany, like, wait a second, he's still out there, he's gonna fucking kill him. And so she thinks about that, and immediately that's when I clicked in. I was like, oh, she's gonna fucking put the grenade on herself. When she says he's gonna want to kick over the body, I was like, knew that was gonna be it. But it was like good. That's like, I think the writer, Ennis wants you to think right then, because he's training you in previous parts of the story to know that that's the right thing to do. And it's a good way of Sara being victorious, but also, not just being like, hey, look, she's invincible.
Yeah, I like how it says there. It says Nazi occupied Russia, 1942. Fight hard, shoot straight, and don't let them take you alive. It's almost like the whole theme for this book. It's like she's the most confident. Is when it's obviously she had to have some chicken armor. I don't think it probably would have felt as impactful if she would have survived. I mean,
yeah. Now that I've seen it end, if she lives, I don't know if I think her dying is more emotional, because you care about her, and then like the emotion she goes through. She's fighting for her country. She's fighting for her friends. she's fighting for revenge because her family got all killed at her village, and then she's overhears the Russian soldiers when she was in Leningrad,
Yep.
and the Russian soldiers are like just like saying about how they did it like as a red flag event and like
Yeah.
basically murdered their own people.
Hollywood, Hollywood likes to paint World War II, even in video games. They like to paint World War II as being, oh, it's such a great thing. I'm like, no, it's war. People died. It's like, you're pissing in your pants because you're like, you don't know if you're gonna, especially when you see someone next to you get shot by snipers or tiger tanks. I would have liked if they would have done like, after her death, if they would have said like, the end of the war, like, the Nazis surrounding, and like, she made like her effort, like what she did caused like the led to the end of the war or helped, because and obviously in history the Russians froze to death because the Russian winter saved them.
You mean the Germans?
Well, they just say that Germans, yeah,
They didn't freeze to death. They just couldn't get supply lines.
Yeah, they were
in.
starving. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
in snow and stuff. They're getting stuck in there. Because you saw a perfect example was that truck. Remember they're hiding that truck that's buried in the snow. Because it'd be fine one day, and then you get like 12 feet of snow.
Yeah,
and then
by the Germans couldn't come back and finish the job because by that point the Allies had entered the war, and Germany was fighting on two fronts. And
Yep. But I like that though. It's like when they threw it in there, the truck, I was like, well, yeah. And they're in this huge open field. It's are basically like there's nothing to block the wind, so it blows the snow. So you're getting drifts and all that stuff too. So that was kind of cool because hey, I come from a northern state. We get that kind of crap. Now you're not 12 feet of snow like that, but it adds up after a while. As I'm saying, and it does. You have to for Germany, who's not really used to those. They do have winters, but not as bad as they do in Russia. So they were thinking they'd be done before before the Russian winter. Of course, it lasted to that. I mean, the Allies, they say they had with the War II, an easy company. They thought the war would be done within like a couple months. They thought it'd be done by Christmas, and all of a sudden, they're still going through. The Germans did that one last push. My grandfather was in that using his company. He said, it's like you're freezing your ass off. And it's like you're happy if you got coffee and cigarettes, because at least you can take your mind off of something. But still, it's like you're in war. War does not end. It's because you think you're going to I'm going to take a smoke break or a tea break. Yeah, it's like it's constantly. It's always on. You never know. It's frightening. But I said, like I really love these books. I mean, yeah, it's sad that she died, but like you said, you get so attached to these characters, and Ennis likes to do that with these characters. All his stories does. And Kirkman too. Kirkman is like, remember we always complain about Sons of Anarchy? Oh, who's going to die this week? Well, that happens in war. It's not everybody comes out. It's not a happy ending. If you're getting a happy ending, it's probably a fictional story.
What I appreciated about this is that it was more than just a story about a girl being a sniper and killing people. Like there was so much that this had to say just about politics. There was a lot of politics in this book.
I can only imagine if they would have done it, CW to it, glamored it up and stuff, put the SGW in there.
Yeah, I hate that.
Oh, it would, yeah.
But it was nice because it was accurate historical politics.
Best,
right?
Yeah, too.
And so it's not necessarily throwing in like you need to vote for this guy. Like it's more about this is what was going on at the time. This is how things were, and this is how people dealt with it. Mm-hmm. And you take away however you want. But man, the story is just about the communists and like how they always had like a state person like overseeing everything, like even the military.
Yes.
And
well, God, the girls, man. Just the way they acted, like with Sara, like you said, she's like, I freaking hate this. I'm going out there to kill people, and then the people behind me are useless. And then she had to be careful because the propaganda lady who's seeing overseas relations, she caught her. She was almost about to speak, and when that guy got shot, so she almost could have been like, well, yeah, like I thought they're gonna go with the like, well, she's lying to me.
What I like though is like good writing. She wasn't just a black and white villain though, right? Because like you see the other girl, like Sarah's like, look, she's just doing her job. She's trying to do her job the best she knows how. She's in way over her head. And that's true. I think that's what we see a lot in situations, just like in the modern world with people doing things, and it's easy to like villainize them and be like, oh, you do this, and it's like, look, they're just doing their job, you know.
Well, it also showed that she's still a kid. Or she thought, I'm gonna do things on my own responsibility, all that stuff, And she thought she made a mistake. She killed the guy. She's like, oh, I'm great. And then she realized her mistake. Hey, I exposed myself.
Yep.
Never thought about there could be another sniper.
Yep. I think it also played really well on the fact that this story had a lot of similarities to that movie I was saying about Enemy at the Gates. If anyone enjoyed this story and you haven't seen Enemy at the Gates, I've mentioned it multiple times, see that movie. It's a really well done movie, very similar type story about a sniper. It's Jude Law. It touches a little bit on the politics of the day and just like what it was like under Stalinist Russia and things like that. But it's very interesting in the same way that it's a World War II movie that does not have any Americans in it. It's Russia versus Nazis. Like that's it.
It's Ed Harris versus Jude Law.
And Ed Harris versus Jude Law. And in a similar fashion, Ed Harris is the master German sniper that they bring in to try to get Jude Law's character, and there's like a kind of like a hunter hunting the hunted sort of thing. Yep. Yeah, and I think this book, as I was reading it, I was like, man, there's so many similarities, and it's making you think the book is going to go a certain way because the movie went a certain way. You're like, oh, they're kind of doing the same thing as they did in the movie, but it doesn't. You're like, oh, good on you, Garth. Good on you.
I'm glad there was no love interest.
Yeah, I'm glad. There was nothing gratuitous in this film. Everything had a purpose to be in the story, Well,
yeah, especially when they touched on her parents. Our parents were dead. So then the flashback, we're like, oh, this was her malicious. She's not there. She didn't care less about the Russians. She just wants to kill as many Germans as she can. And like you said, she was kind of on a bold suicide, but she's bullheaded. Remember, she's still probably in her early 20s. She's not used to this. Maybe, I don't know how long they've been doing this, for like a year or two? She's been in the service? I can't remember how much the time length was.
She hasn't been very long.
Yeah, so she's, like I said, at that age, even though you're in your 20s, you're still not, even though you're legally adult, some people don't really mature past it. So basically, she was more kind of on set on revenge, which is kind of, I was saying, like either they're gonna, I said I wasn't sure, either she's gonna survive by some stupid luck, her friend's gonna help her, or she's gonna die, and then they're just gonna go with that route. And like I said, I'm kind of happy that she didn't survive, because it just show that, like, well, she's a superwoman, she doesn't die. But also, boy, I'm like, I don't want her to die because she's an interesting character. I want another series. It's like I want another book.
That's true. Yeah, you don't get more of the story. I think it's not that I wanted her to die, but I think her dying left for a satisfactory ending, because had she lived, my thinking is like, okay, that's great. You killed the enemy German sniper or whatever, but the story goes to great lengths to illustrate that the true enemy is like Russia itself. Mm-hmm. And we know just from history, like, it doesn't really go away until the 80s, like the Berlin Wall doesn't come down until the mid 80s. Like,
that's why I want to spin off.
It would have just been like, oh man, so like, that's great. It's all, the story's over. And now she gets to go deal with all this shit. Like that, it feels like things are unresolved, but now she's dead. She gets to go in a better place. And the theme of the story is that she wasn't fighting for her country. She was fighting for the people she loved. Yep. And that's ultimately what she was victorious was. So she had 3 other girls remaining out of the 7. And presumably they get to go on and, lead their lives now because of what she did. And I feel like she thought she was a broken individual anyway. Too much had happened to her. Like, she's gone.
It did like it. That's why she wasn't like, they're fooling around. She's like, why don't you explain to her what this is? This isn't a game. This is like, it just seemed like she was in a blood, like, revenge. She was a vendetta she had. She wants revenge for her parents who were innocent, were just slaughtered and killed. But then at the same point, it's like, I don't know. It's like I was hoping for maybe she would just like realize, hey, maybe it's cool to do the rabbit thing, but I'm thinking like, don't kill her off, don't kill her off. But
Yeah, I mean it's obviously feels bad. I mean that
yeah,
should if you were just like if I
well,
that's not
yeah,
a good
that's
character. You want to feel that
that's
heartbreak of like, oh,
that's
she's
why I like
dead.
Ennis. I like Kirkman. When stuff like this happens, like they make you character is not just a 2D page or over it prints on it. It's actually like an actual feels like someone like um obviously Kirkman did 193 issues of The Walking Dead, so you were more involved with the characters. But this for only 6 issues, that's talent.
Yeah,
Um,
this is the best thing I've ever read. Not that I've read a lot of stuff, but the best thing I've read from Garth Ennis. I was
um,
not expecting this. I was like, so it's gonna be a decently.
no,
It'll probably be a decent little World War II story. Blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
like, holy shit!
yeah.
Why are people not talking about this book?
Yeah, because it's not superhero. I think more people are just all in the superhero craze stuff. It's so that's not getting as much attention as the more the books like this. It's like, well, we've seen more too. I play Call of Duty. I don't care.
I think I think there's something to what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
I also think it has something to do with the TKO business model.
Well,
Right? If this book had come out like a normal comic, it would have been out over 6 months.
well, I didn't hear about it until you showed it in Comixology. I was never hit, but then I
Right.
saw
And
it.
so what happened was TKO, they just release it. Boom, here's all 6 issues. Boom, go. People buy them. That's it. They like it or they don't like it or whatever, and then it's over. And then you don't talk about it anymore. And then because every week is a new comics, so it falls down the memory hole. If this had come out monthly, you would have had 6 months of people talking about the book. And I think it would have made more notoriety. I think people would have been like, oh, yeah. And then finally it comes out in trade. And then people are like, oh, because there's other indies. Like, we got the whole Criminal cast. Ed Brubaker makes waves.
Now, I think if Kirkman would have been doing this, he probably been like would have got like more than 6 issues. He probably would have done the same thing. He's like, we're gonna get you attacked this character, and then boom, she's dead.
Yeah, I don't think Kirkman does miniseries.
No, but like I say, the way you're enjoying Firepower would just here you go, it's released. There you go. You wouldn't probably feel as like, oh, it's great, but it would be like Pulp. It's over. Okay, where's the next book? You know, and
Yeah,
I kind of want
Pulp is a good example. Pulp is the best book I read in 2020.
I
And
want
that
to keep the story alive.
the book came out, people were like, "Yay, it's great," and then it's gone, and then people that read it loved it, but there's new books coming out constantly, so you're just like, "Oh, okay," and no one talks about Pulp. If Pulp had been multiple issues, I think it would have stayed around the pop culture longer, and so it would have felt more impactful. I think.
Well, I would love to have a spin-off series, the aftermath, continue what's going on in the story. I know that her part's over, but I'd like to see the aftermath, and stuff like that. And I want to see that, what's going on. Because it just because it's one, like I said, I would love to be if it was the same like Walking Dead or Oblivion or any stuff. One character ends up dying, but they continue the story, the main story going.
Well,
So obviously,
the story was her story.
I know, but I still the overall story. I know.
It's over.
I want more of the story, the overall story, the
over.
setting. What's going on with the girls? Like, do they like get killed immediately afterwards? Do they live? Do they grow?
No, you're supposed to assume. You're supposed to assume that they grow old and die, like in her vision.
Yeah.
Yes. There's really no point. There's really no point in doing a story showing us that happened.
But remember, she said like he's probably has 3 more bullets, so I'm gonna use a grenade. That and I guess I was like, okay. I don't know. I like when a story ends, I want to continue that. Just because one character, that was the main character is gone. And that's why I don't like filling up main characters. I like having side characters continue the book. But Garth Ennis is always known for doing 6-issue miniseries now. That's what he does. He doesn't really do ongoing. I think the last ongoing stuff he did was Punisher Max.
Well, with miniseries, you can tell a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Give me 12.
It's a very different form than ongoing. Ongoing stories are supposed to be constantly in the second act, just
Yeah,
repeated over and over and over, and you never get to the third act. And
that's why.
occasionally you can tell a first act like in an origin issue, but you know, it's this second act over and over and over again. And some people like that. Sounds like you like that. I like that. Um,
First, depends. Like you said, like if you have a subplot going while the other stuff is going, other stories, and it can make sense why this character was involved fighting him, and there's something going on in the shadows. Yeah, I like that, but I don't like it just like this is the villain of the week. Okay, that it gets annoying after a while, you know. But like I said, I would look for Garth Ennis. I know he's has 6 issues. Garth, if you're listening, do 12. It's,
I would not. I don't think this book would have been better.
yeah, but
12
I mean other
issues. It would have felt. I
yeah.
think you should just write the number of issues that your story needs.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure he could, if you wanted to, he could write a 12-issue story that needs to be 12 issues. He likes to do the 1 through 3, six, six
Yeah.
issues. I'm done because you can hammer them out.
And speaking of, he does ongoing. He's doing The Boys. The Boys
Is he
has
still
been,
doing
yeah. Boys been
it? Okay,
going on forever.
because I only saw they have Dear Becky. So I wasn't sure if the actual main book was going whatever the boys was.
Well, Dear Becky is just the latest. The Boys is released like in chunks. Like
Is it every 2 years like Lazarus?
it'll be like a series ends, and then it's like he goes on hiatus and he does something. He comes back and does another Boys thing. So
You know what we should get into looking at next? Is Preacher. That's another Garth Ennis series they did.
yeah, I've been curious about that Preacher. I have like the first 2 seasons of the TV show. I thought it was okay, but I was curious, especially now that I've read The Boys and seen how different it was than the TV show. I'm curious to read The Preacher. I think I'll like the comic more than I like the TV show, but the TV show was pretty good.
Yeah, because Garth Ennis actually he did the for Hellblazer. He was doing they couldn't use Lucifer because Sandman book was using it, so he had to do a different one. He had to call it the First of the Fallen. He had to change it. I was like, and that irked a lot of people. It's like, really, we just can't call him Lucifer while he's being used in this book. We can't call him this. So Hellblazer
Which
was
is really stupid because Lucifer is like is a biblical thing. It's not like a DC only thing. Like I'm really annoyed with the whole Sandman thing, by the way. Like, why did you cast God, what's her name? Captain Phasma as Lucifer in the Sandman show?
Did Fran Drescher get casted?
No. Fran Drescher.
That's the only way I'd watch it.
What?
As Death.
No, I'm talking about Lucifer. And why would you want Fran Drescher as Death? Good Lord. No, but I mean, you already have a Lucifer TV show.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And he's a certain way, and then you're going to cast a Sandman show and not... Look, I understand you're not going to use the same actor. It's a different production company. It's a different... Yeah. But at least make the character somewhat similar. Like, well, the woman, I can't remember the actress's name, that plays Phasma and Brienne of Tarth on Game of Thrones, like, she's a very unique looking being. Like, it's I don't know, whatever. You casting her as Lucifer, okay. Seems weird. But anyways, I gotta wrap this show up. It's after midnight. Yep. And but I appreciate you being on. It's more fun to do the show with someone to actually talk to instead of just me rambling. Of course, that also lends me to possibly going way over.
We started late, though.
No, we started a little bit late, but those of you that are still listening and those of you that are listening on a replay, thank you for being here. Thank you for making this far. I hope you enjoyed Sara. This is one of the best books I've read on this in a while.
It's worth the $20.
Yeah, this would be a great thing to get as hardback I
I
don't
don't
know
know
if
if they have
I don't know
hardback.
if there is a hardback for it, but
I've only seen softcover, so I have to look online.
yeah,
So
this would be it's a really good book. I could see picking this up, like once every year or two to revisit it. The art is gorgeous, and the story, just the marriage of like a really great story and great art. It's so rare these days. Speaking of great
see
story and great art, I'm gonna replug England Teen. RDV is doing a stream uh, with
with Puppet Team,
Puppetine. What's the channel?
I love puppets.
The channel's called I Love Puppets. You should find it easy, and they're gonna be covering Batman Year One tomorrow. So catch
Right?
that. I don't know if I can be there or not. Batman Year One is one of my favorite books ever. I definitely would have to reread the book though, so I could be fresh on it. But you want to talk about great art and great story? Holy cow! Mazzucchelli and Frank Miller, two of the all-time bests. So stay tuned for that. Watch a puppet talk about dark comics. Ed
And he might.
Brewer says until next time, and I'm gonna
If,
give Venkman the last word.
I'll just say this: you're kind of debating. Oh, it's a puppet. I don't know. He has a Batman mask, so you're getting the Dark Knight puppet.